Hello, 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 and welcome back to our last hop in this great journey to put a plane to die, basically. We're currently in Rockford, just outside of Chicago. Right now, we're about to head to Victorville in California, the place where planes go to die, unfortunately, where all of British Airways' 737-400s are going. That is where we are going. We have the, not the 737-400. This is actually a 737-700. We're using it as a stand-in because nobody really makes a good 737-400 as of yet. I mean, there's somebody who has one in development, which is supposed to be great, but that's another time. Right now, though, we're going to get the cockpit set up for this quick turnaround. It's just a quick turnaround for us. I know it's probably been like a week or so since this video came out. In reality, it's been about 10 minutes since I started this video from the last video. So let's hop back inside of the cockpit. Everything is basically how we left it when we turned it off. So we're now going to turn everything back on. Starting with our overhead panel, we're going to put our IRSs into nav mode. We're going to do our waterfalls now. We don't need anything like that. Everything's good here. We can put our window heats on. We're all good to go. Exterior lights are good to go. Okay. Let's get our FMC set up then. Actually, before we do FMC, we should probably get our payload ready. So we are taking 21,040 pounds of fuel. That will give us a total flying time of 5 hours and 12 minutes, although we're looking at about a 3 hour and 40 minute flight. Coming back here for our payload, it's still pretty much the same, 84.8 now, 84.8. Maybe we're taking a little bit more food onto the plane with us. 84.8 is our zero fuel weight because we only have 4 people on board, although the plane thinks we have 6. So we'll leave that. We'll put it back on the doors page like so. We'll come over to our left FMC and we'll start getting everything set up. FMC, let's get everything set up here. FMC, back where we need to be. Initial IRS position, we'll take our left IRS. We'll put KRFD in our scratch pad and put that as our reference airport. You see they pretty much line up the same, so it means we're about in the same spot. Fantastic. Our route today is KRFD to KVCV. Company route none. Flight number is still BAW 9737 is our flight number, and the runway that we're going to take off of, I believe, is runway 19er. 19er is our takeoff runway, and from there we'll be able to get everything good to go. All right. So route today, pretty simple and straightforward. It's direct to our RFD, and then to IOW, which I believe is Iowa VOR, maybe? Oh, the Iowa City VOR is probably what we want. Then the J192 airway. It's J192 airway. On off to PWE. Then from PWE it's J64. Then it is TBC. From TBC it's J128. To PGS. Next page. That's the J64 again. So we hop in Airways. J64 again goes to HEC, 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 like so. Then the J6 airway. And Hilde is the last one. H-E-L-D-E. H-E-L-D-E. And that's the last point that this plane will ever fly. So we'll activate and execute. Go to our preference initialization page. We'll put on our 0 fuel weight. Once again, our final reserves are 1.9. Cost index of 36. Flight level 400 once more. Execute it. I did the takeoff data. We'll be doing a D rate of 2 with a degree of 50, like so. Takeoff will be flaps 1. Center of gravity is changed, and our takeoff speeds are as follows. 119 for V1, 119 for rotate, and 1, 2, 3 for V2. From here, I think we're about good to go. So that's all we really have to do. We'll just go to our legs page because we'll reference that. I have filed the flight plan. I believe so. Yes, I filed the flight plan, and I need to get my tracking software up and running because I forgot to do that. We'll call for clearance here in just a second because I believe Chicago is still on. Fantastic. Confirm. All right. So I think we're good to go. We'll set up our MCP real quick too. So he'll probably give us like an initial, I think is 7,000 feet. Let me reference the KRFD charts. There is no there is no departures out of this runway, so or this airport, so I don't know exactly. But I will put 185 as our initial heading because that is runway heading. And 1, 2, 3 in the box. We'll get the flight directors going. And I'll kind of just put 7,000 there. Just we'll see what he gives us. All right. I think we're all good to go. Let's contact Chicago Center 127.8. Oh, what did I just do? And accidentally pressed the test button for our fire system, which seems to be working. So 127.8. Here we go. Chicago Center, good evening. Speedbird 9737 on the ground at Rockford. We're looking for clearance to Victorville.
About to close up. Your frequency change is approved.
All right, frequency change approved. Speedbird 9737. Bummer. So it looks like we'll be on 122.8 for the rest of the night. I was hoping we'd get him on the departure, but I guess not. Still waiting for our IRSs to align here. They only need, what's that, 1 minute? They only need a minute to align, so we will call for a pushback tug. The parking spot is too small. No, it's not. You lied to me. So we'll customize the airport position. As you guys see, the screen go blank, and then I go like this, and then I come back in here, and I tell GSX to push me back, and voila, it does. Let's see, who's going to be handling us today? Probably Aircraft Services International Group. Do I want to start engines before pushback? No, thank you. And voila, see, look at that. We have our pushback everything. That was from our last flight. We can reset it. So we'll start up the APU now.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
APU, well, I'm not ready for pushback yet. And that air stare right there is looking really close. How close is that? Is that going? Oh, look at that. Inches to spare. That can't be safe. That can't be safe. If I had like a few thousand more pounds of fuel inside me, that wing would be sagging. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Whoever did that's a bad person. I guess if you needed to use the stairs to get up to the wing, I guess you could do that. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but the APU's starting right up now. That's hilarious that that's right there. So let's close up the doors. That would be a good thing to do. There's the doors closing up. And in the belly it goes. Okay. So, I think we have the APUs on. Yep. Okay. And we will ground connection set to off, and GSX will do its thing as I start my flight tracking program. Awesome. Altimeters are set 3017 this afternoon. Should be a quick takeoff and departure, really. One, because there's not ATC, and two, because the procedures are so kind of cut down because there's not a lot of stuff that we actually have to do. So parking brakes are released. And we'll be starting once we start our turn. So hopefully our wing back here will clear the tip. Yeah, it did. Okay. That's hilarious that was there. I wish this circuit breaker panel would work. That'd be fun. Like pole circuits and stuff. I don't know where. I don't know how it's pushing me back either. So this is fun. So let's just start our engines. We used the left igniter last time. We'll use right igniter now. Kind of want to switch back and forth between the igniters, just so that you don't have any issues. And 15% and 20%. And the engine will start up. There's where we just were. So like I said, I think we'll just do a we'll just do a good departure. It'll be a good departure. How was it doing? And it has me in the grass. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, we'll just be in the grass. It's all right. And left starter. That's so weird. GSX is so funny sometimes. It just, puts you where you shouldn't be. And engine 1 coming on. Awesome. Okay. So we're all good there. I'm going to put these guys into continuous. The rest of the fuel pump should have been on. My bad. Hydraulics goes on. Yaw damper goes on. Our probe heat goes on. Our packs can come on now. Isolation valve into auto. Generators on the engines. APU comes off. Put out the bleed for the APU. Dome light can come off. Shut to 40,000 feet. Taxi light can come on. Anti-collision. Wing light can come on. RTO. All right. We are good to go. for this guy to do whatever he's doing. Walk away. Parking brakes off. Here we go. Back on the concrete. And we have flaps 5. Actually, no, we're flaps 1 today, aren't we? Forgot I set flaps for 1. So we don't really need. I believe flaps 1 really just does our front flap there. That gets pushed down, and that's about it. And we'll take Bravo up to Alpha, and then Alpha cross runway, and then Foxtrot to Bravo. Since Bravo doesn't go all the way down, unfortunately. So like I said, this is a cargo airport, so there's not really any commuter traffic through here. It's just kind of like all cargo. But that's with the lay of the land. We don't want golf. We'll come down here on Bravo. We'll take this slight left right here. Now take this slight left, like so. And we'll cross the runway. We'll check the approach side. It looks good. Check that side. All good. So we'll cross. And here's Foxtrot. And this is where we take Foxtrot and then go to Bravo. And due to the length of the runway, we'll have to use the full length. No cheating. No cheating. Gotta use the full length. From here, we can probably activate VNAV, and we'll activate heading. So it'll be heading select and VNAV. That's how we roll. And here's Bravo. We were just on, but now we're not. So Bravo. And we'll take it all the way down. All right, let me slow her down. And we're ready for the takeoff. Everything's good. So as we're coming around the corner, we'll flip on landing lights, turn on our strobe. We'll check the approach side. Well, looks clear. And that's confirmed on the TCAS. Or that will be confirmed on the TCAS once we turn it on. And we're going to line up on the runway. All right, I think we're good to go as soon as we, yeah, we're just good to go. So we'll throttle the auto throttle. We'll arm the auto throttle and we'll press toga. Here we go. Got a master caution, which goes off for some reason. Alright, V1 is our rotate.
V1. V2.
There's V1 and our rotate. We'll bring the nose steadily up for a good rate of climb. Gear coming up as we blast off for the last time. This plane will take off as we head off. Go all the way up to 400, by the way. Just a great thing. Oh, look at that view. Oh, would you look at that? Look at that awesome view. There we go. Looks like a great view from up here. Flaps can go up. We're passing our speed. Turning over the weather radar, even though I don't think there's anything significant around here. And we're gonna go direct the Iowa City VOR. Because that will be better than going direct to Rockford VOR. So we're now in a nice right-hand turn to go. Oh, let me do that. Sorry. We're in a nice right-hand turn to do that. I was trying to open up something else. There we go. A right overwing view. A little bumpy. As we head up, oh, we're about to come to the clouds, looks like. And if you think about it, this is the last takeoff. Like I said, this is the last takeoff that this plane will ever do. Once it lands, it will probably be scrapped just because of how old it is. It probably won't go on to have another life. So it'll probably be scrapped for parts and just not do anything else. It's kind of a sad thing, really, but I guess it has to be done. So we're on the climb. We can do some after takeoff things like turning up the landing lights as we pass 10,000, turning off the logo. That's about it, really. Everything's pretty much going to stay as is for the rest of the flight, as well as we can put that RTO. So there you guys go. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys on the middle of our descent into Victorville. Hey guys, welcome back. We're just descending 15,000 feet into Victorville. The last stop for this aircraft on our half-world journey. Well, I want to call it half-world. Probably wasn't, but long enough. It took us long enough to get here. We're on descent right now. I'm kind of coming down to 52. Actually, I'm going to make that 7,200 feet. We're on approach. We're going to be doing the RNAV GPS for runway 17. It's weird that runway 17 is the only runway with any instrument procedures, and it only has 3 instrument procedures, which is shocking. It's also a very high airport. The MSA, or the minimum safe altitude, is 11,300 feet. Very high altitude. So we're just going to get things set up here. No auto brake once again. Don't really need to use it just because we're so light. We have a VREF of 111 knots, so we're going to keep it around 120 on the approach. Like I said, we're doing the RNAV, so once we get aligned and I have visually airport, we'll go ahead and do a visual approach. It's a interesting approach because once we get up to the waypoint SCAT, SCAT, or SCCAT, we can't go any further north. There is a MOA, or a military area, that we have to avoid, and it's really button up close next to it. I mean, if you're looking down here, the MOA is about right here, and if we went into that, we would have the military all over us. And I know how much the British love the Americans, so yeah. Any woohoozles, looks like we're going to come around this mountain here, and the airport's right about here somewhere. I believe so, at least. We'll have to see. I think I got my graphics all sorted out too. Hopefully I have those all sorted out and we're not lagging too much. Now I know my FPS has dropped down, but we're still keeping a good graphic oriented system. Like I said, I need to get a new graphics card and everything will be much, much better. I hope. So we're going to continue down here, kind of just coming through 10,000 feet. Which, while we're at 10,000 feet, it really doesn't look like we're at 10,000 feet. Everything looks so low around here. It's a bit bumpy, a bit windy as well. Actually, really windy as well. So let me tell you what it is right now. It's 260 at 30 knots. That's 260 degrees at 30 knots. Gusting to 38 knots. It's a super, super windy crosswind. This is going to be fun. This is going to be really, really fun. We're going to be crabbing a whole lot as we get down here. It's just how the area is very windy. We got very mountainous terrains. All that wind just kind of blows up against mountains. And since it's very mountainous, you get all that wind coming in. I'm going to switch to terrain now, so we'll probably see a whole bunch of terrain coming in. We should be able to see the airport pretty soon. It's right about here it's right around here somewhere, I think. Can't see too well where it is, but it's right around there, I promise. About 15 miles from that turn to final, too. We have 7,200 feet or above at our first point, and then 5,200 feet at our second point. So we're kind of going down to 7,200 feet right now. We're going to reach that a little bit early, so we can. We're going to stay level for a little bit and then go on our way down. We've been flying for 3 hours and 40 minutes. I think this has been the longest leg that we have had. Definitely, I think it's been the longest leg that we've had. They've been around kind of pushing 2 hours. This one's actually pushing about 4 hours long. But, like I said, it's the last leg out here in the middle of the desert. We got nothing. And like I said, Victorville is great for storing aircraft because it's dry and it's hot, so it has less room for corrosion with everything, which is something that is very much preferred by people who want to store their aircraft. And like I said, I'm unsure what these aircraft will actually become. Either they'll get sold off to another airline who will refresh them and create another airline with them, or they might be scrapped out for parts. So other companies who own 737-400s, like Southwest Airlines, might buy spare parts from British Airways, who happens to own some very well-used, and I mean well-used in the sense that they were taken care of very well, that they would buy parts from them for their aging fleet. Southwest still has some pretty aged aircraft in their fleets. Now we're going to set our now we got 7,200. Now we're going to go down to 5,200, and then from there we'll be on the approach. We're about 7.5 miles to the approach. We'll start to see the airport. I think it's about, I want to say it's right there. Yeah, it looks about to be right there. It's hard to tell. There's not a lot of stuff to go off of. Maybe if I can zoom in. Oh, that looks like an airport right there, doesn't it? Maybe? Yeah, right there. Do you see it? Right? I think that's the airport right there. It definitely looks like it. So we're going to head off over there. So that's the runway. So I could execute a visual approach right now, but don't think so. Just because of how gusting it is, we're also going to have a crosswind. And we're actually, I think we're at pretty much our limit for crosswind, which is bad news. So we don't want to risk it. And that's where I said I kind of want to keep a higher speed because of that crosswind. It could do some unpredictable things, especially at 30 knots. Temperature outside's 4 degrees. Dew point -4. It's pretty chilly. It's very chilly out. So we'll make this left turn up here soon, I hope. Yeah, we're gonna get right there. You got some farmland down here. This is also Orbic scenery, FS Global scenery, which looks fantastic, by the way. I don't know how I would play this game without having FS Global installed, because it's just so nice. Scenery looks so good. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna put 1 degree of flap down, and I'm gonna speed intervene to kind of just keep our speed up on the descent. Because like I said, we have 120 knots as our final approach speed, so we don't need to be going that slow as for right now, because we can slow down pretty fast, and it won't be any useful. We have our radio altimeter set to 200 feet above, which will be our minimums today. As we come around here, let's see, we're getting this bumps. Getting these bumps. Bad news for those bumps. Woo! See, you can see how bad it's kind of thrown around the aircraft, which is not a very good thing. We'll let out another degree of flap as we come around here. Whee! So look at that. That's bad. Currently showing a 26 knot crosswind, and that doesn't include the gusting part of it, which can be equally as bad. So I'm going to take over manual control here as we get down. I'll drop the speed down a little bit more as we increase our flaps. This is going to be a fun approach. We're going to have to keep, we're definitely going to have to crab in. There's no mistake in it that we're going to have to crab in. Gears coming down. Let's get our speed brake. Ooh, I think this is going to be our toughest landing that we've had thus far. I think this is the toughest landing that we're going to have thus far, for sure. We're also pretty high, but that's okay because it's a good thing. We've got a lot of runway to use. Hopefully we won't have to do a go round. I have go round instructions, so if we do, it's a right turn direct. It follows the line basically, if you can see it. We're still, we got this. You can see just how bad we're crabbing. I can't even see the runway. I need to turn this. We're going to drop the rest of the flaps. You have an extended threshold, so that's good. Man, this is tricky. I'm putting all of my thought right now into descending, almost forgetting to talk. Whew. So experienced pilots need to do this. This isn't for the lighthearted.
Approaching minimums.
Yeah, minimum's good, and we're gonna continue.
Minimums.
Still grabbing. Here we go. Should be a good landing. Oh, look at this.
30, 20, 10.
We're gonna use the rudder to come back. Oh. A little bit of left of the center line, but I think that was pretty good for our landing. That was bad. And I'm gonna come off because we're gonna roll. Roll all the way down here to the end. It's not a very trafficked airport, so we don't really need to get off the runway, even at slow speeds. I still need to really put some muscle into this. All right. Pretty good. We got some buildings over here to the left. That's where we're gonna go. It's kind of like the delivery center for these aircraft. So as we slow down, get to a much more manageable speed, we'll deal with our flaps, which will come up. And we'll come out of this taxiway right here. Charlie taxiway. There's the delivery center, which I was talking about. So we're gonna go park in there somewhere, and that's the last flight of this, last touchdown this plane will ever do. Kind of a sad moment, but when you think about it, they're always replacing older aircraft with better aircraft, and they're always upgrading their fleets. But for a plane that's been around for a long time, it's hard to let it go. It's a little sniffle. So I think we're pretty good. It's a pretty good landing, I think. I think we had a pretty good landing. For sure, it was a little bit rocky. You should have seen us on the descent. We were bouncing around like nobody's business. So we'll just park whatever this slot is right here. We'll park into here. And like Victorville is just it houses tons of aircraft from like Qantas and Delta and all the major carriers, cargo airlines, everything. People will use places or airports like these to store their aircraft because they're hot and dry, and they can easily store them for future use. So I think this is our parking spot right in here. Let's see if I can get it on the line this time. On the line. And stop. Alright. So now do a quick shutdown procedure. APU is on, so that means we can go for that. It's going off. We can connect to ground power now. So ground power gets connected. That means APU can come off and fuel pumps can come off. And yaw damper comes off. All the bleeds on, the packs are off. Valve is opened. Seatbelt signed. Can finally come off. Continuous goes off. Anti-collisions off. Just the logo in position. Taxi light comes off. Emergency exit lights can turn off as well as our IRSs. And of course, everybody needs to get out of the plane. Let's go into the doors. Bada bing, bada boom. We can come around here. It wasn't too bad. It was on the line at least, but just a little bit off. Oh, I think I broke it again. No, come back. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to Victorville. That was a long set of flight, but thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Be sure to leave this video a like, a share, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you want me to do any routes in the comment section. I'll kind of add it to a list. Maybe I'll fly them one day. So if you want me to do any routes that you guys think are maybe popular, because I was thinking maybe I'd do like Vancouver to Sydney or something, or, let me know. Comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in our next video.